Today we talk about Jacob Sartorius' cringy songs, an insane hike, and we have a conversation with Ellis Pizzo. From family to friends to strangers, this is Crazy Collab. Hey guys, welcome back to Crazy Collab. I'm Clay Bowen.
I'm Deborah Webb.
And today we have a very special guest. We have Ellis Pizzo.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very special.
You're very
Are you?
special.
I'm a special little snowflake.
How are you? I'm very special. I'm sorry about that.
What kind of snowflake are you? What shape?
I don't know. There's many different shapes, but at the same time, do you know that show Adam Ruins Everything? Have you ever seen that?
Yeah. College
Yeah,
humor.
they prove that there has been two snowflakes that
Two identical snowflakes? My childhood is ruined.
What?
identical like snowflakes. Yeah.
Dang it.
That makes me
Just-
mad.
I'm sure there's another person just like me, so that's.
I mean, that
fine.
makes sense, but there's so many different, possibilities, but
Yeah.
considering how, small snowflakes
Man.
are, it makes sense that there have been two identical
Yeah.
ones.
There's so many.
So
There's
many.
bound to be two.
There's
So,
bound
yeah.
to be
that
two.
makes me mad.
Okay, I have so much to talk about. I said this in the last podcast. By the way, since we recorded the last podcast,
Yes.
we've gone to a movie. We recorded one and then we went to the movie and now we're back. So
Can we talk about this
Nice.
movie?
let's talk about the movie. We're not gonna
Firstly,
spoil the movie. We
Ellis,
saw Lights
what
Out.
what are your feelings on horror movies?
I like them. It depends on the whole
Yes.
movie, though.
Are you M.
Overall-
Night Shyamalan fan or jump scare?
I like Insidious. I'm kind of
Insidious is
Have I
good.
seen Insidious? What's that one about?
It's about a boy that's kind of haunted. in a
Yeah.
way.
Maybe.
It's
A lot
great.
of
And they
astral
took all of
projection.
them off of astral projection. They took
Yeah,
all
yeah,
of them
yeah.
off Netflix.
I thought Insidious was on.
It was, and then it was
It
gone.
was on my
Netflix
list. I
sucks.
put it on my list because I was like, I need to. watch
Right, it was
this.
on my list too, and then
It's a good movie. What can I say?
it is. So we saw
Yeah.
Lights Out, but we smuggled food into the theater.
Oh,
We
God.
were
illegal.
the most annoying people.
We were so annoying. No,
Oh.
we sat up at the top, kind of.
The very back row because
very
I'm one
back
of those
row.
people.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Well, I'm not gonna say names because I'm not a terrible person. I am though. I'm just kidding. No, but I have this friend, and what he always does is he goes in the trash can and he gets any popcorn container he can find, and then he washes it out in the bathroom, and then goes back out and asks for a free refill.
That's
So
really
that's what he
smart,
does.
but that's
Dang.
really
It's a free refill, but it's disgusting because sometimes
is
I don't know, I don't want to
disgusting.
get any diseases.
I don't know because I was thinking about it and if I were sick in a movie theater, I would puke in the popcorn tub. So
That's
ooh,
true. Yeah, that's
Dang.
true.
that's disgusting. And what if it's paper?
just
Most of them
I
are
re-
paper, so you
Yeah,
can't
it
go
was
wash it
paper, yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I refuse to eat out of his popcorn thing, so that's why I
Insane.
bring my own money.
I would rather we did. We went to Walmart and we got
yeah.
a bag of popcorn. We got Nilla wafers, Reese's Pieces, and then I got a
Oh.
tea. And I brought
Yeah.
my purse and we're trying to
Who
smuggle.
doesn't do that?
We smuggled it in, and then we were sitting in the very
Oh.
back, and we got there right as the movie started, so we
Yeah.
didn't have the commercial
got
time to be
quiet.
loud and open all the food. So it was really quiet
got
beginning of the
quiet
movie, and we were just
Snacks ruffling.
sitting there we want to open our food, but we don't want to be loud. It was so stressful.
Well, the movie theater near my house, there's a gas station right in front of it, so why not? Honestly,
True.
you can't just go to the gas station and not get some popcorn there, you know?
They get me
Makes
every
sense.
time with drinks though, because I'll go I want a medium, and they'll be for 10 cents extra you can get a large, and they did that to me. I ordered the small, and they were for 50 cents extra you can get a
They always
medium, and I
trick
did
you.
it.
yeah, and then he was like, "Do you guys have a rewards card with us?" And I turned to you, and I'm seeing them. I was being here and experiencing this as rewards enough. And you kind of just looked away, and you're
Sorry.
just and I was like,
Oh my
Come
god.
on.
Yeah, I went to see I went to see Finding Dory because
Oh,
I
yeah,
had
the
to
movie.
unleash my inner child. So I went to see that with my friend, and she asked for a medium Coke, and it this gigantic. She's the lady gave her this gigantic bottle of Coke, and I asked for a large. So she didn't give mine yet, and I was like, oh my god, how big is this large gonna be? And it was massive. At the gas stations, you can get those gigantic party size Cokes.
yeah,
Yeah.
the
It's
big
basically
gulps.
that
Yeah.
at a movie theater.
Welcome
Dang.
to America, where
Yeah.
everything is freaking
Every-
giant.
Oh my
Everything's
gosh.
humongous, including the people. No, I'm just kidding.
That's very fair.
I'm
That's
sorry.
very fair.
That was weird.
Oh.
Sorry.
I love movies, but I hate them. Movie theater popcorn.
What's your favorite movie? Do you guys have a favorite movie?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna say Deadpool right now.
Oh man,
Deadpool's-
I might say the same.
I love Deadpool.
Deadpool's
The
pretty great.
funniest movie. Like,
love
it was really good at first, but the ending was kind of weak. Like,
I liked the ending. I
the ending,
loved
too.
the ending.
I like the beginning. I thought like the first half was amazing. The second half was good, not amazing.
I loved the beginning, the opening.
I
Credits.
know the opening credits. I was
Yeah.
That's good.
My friend randomly blares that music, like that song,
Yeah.
and then it'll get stuck in my head, and then I'll be
my
like walking
gosh.
around work singing it. And he's like, "Ha!" And I'm like, "I hate you, Jason."
Oh my gosh, Jason.
Well, it's
Jason.
Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
Speaking of music, did you guys hear the new Hit or Miss, Jacob Sartorius?
Oh dang it!
The new what?
I've been avoiding it. The new Jacob.
You didn't
Sartorius
hear it?
song. I didn't.
What's it called?
I
It's
saw
called
it, but
Hit or Miss.
Yeah, hit or miss.
It's great. It's great.
Well,
I
think you even sent me the music video.
Did I?
Yeah,
Did
think
I? I sent like a bunch of people the link.
Oh my gosh, my friend who I showed the podcast to, I don't know. I was thinking about the Jacob Sartorius song, and I was like, I have to show this to her because she's gonna
Yeah.
cringe like so badly. So I looked it up, and she's just like, "This is awful! Like, turn it off!" And she's like freaking out.
Yeah.
And she's like, where did you find this? I was like, oh, Clay showed it to me. She's like, I don't like him anymore. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Oh my
She's like, he
gosh.
sucked that he like found this and showed this to you, and now
Well,
you're showing this to
like-
me, and I don't like him.
I'll definitely say though that the Hit or Miss, this new song, it's a step up from Sweatshirt, but
That's really not saying much.
I know.
To be honest.
Anything.
Anything is better than Sweatshirt.
It's a little bit better, but that's not that.
Little better.
It's a little bit better.
It's a little bitter.
The sweatshirt music video is really
bitter.
creepy though, because it's just like
I know,
the
like the way
sweatshirt like crawling around like.
it was like
Kill
awkwardly
me.
staring at the camera.
It was very, ugh, it's so
Yeah.
cringeworthy. I hate
Well,
it.
me and Jacob have things in common, just like musically, but I try to stay away from those awkward musicallys.
Literally never made a musically.
Clay got featured like in a week.
I know,
That's
that was
insane.
weird.
I took like
I
2
don't know how
months.
musically works, but I'm assuming that's good.
Oh, I went to this
It's
party.
great.
I went to a party and like
Yeah.
someone there, I was
Sorry.
showing one of my friends, the one that got featured, and then someone behind us was like, "Oh, I saw that. That you made that?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
Hey.
dude,
You're a
you have some
celebrity
of the
now.
weirdest
Welcome to the
parties.
club.
Whoa.
But yeah, I don't know. Musically's fun though. I like it.
See, there's a bad stigma toward musically though.
There's a lot.
Why?
Yeah, because like, and I don't blame people who don't like
Oh
musically.
yeah,
Like,
same.
I totally don't blame it because I hated musically, and I kind of do still. I kind of hate musically, but only because like I don't like the people who get famous off lip singing. Because at
Right.
least when it comes to making comedy videos, it's basically fine. Although you're stealing people's jokes, but I'm gonna start making my own original things. So
That'll be good.
well,
Follow
you know,
Hex
it's not
Films.
that bad. Hex
on
Films. I
Music
can't stand it.
Hex? Oh, you said that you
Hex
like
Films.
really
No.
emphasize the H.
Okay, I used to call it Music
Hex-
Dotly. Deborah got mad at me.
Really?
So
It's
mad.
I should say musical Dotly, but I say Music Dotly.
I have a problem. You want to hear? I have a problem. Okay.
I wanna hear your
Ever
problem.
since I started doing Musically, whenever I'm texting and I type down a word like occasionally, I always do .ly.
Oh my god.
gosh, that's
Occasional
amazing.
dot
It
y,
happens,
please.
and then I realize at last second and I fix it, but it happens,
Oh,
and I need to
dang.
stop.
How
I
do
need
you-
to go on a
that-
Musically intervention.
That is an issue. We will
I know.
stage an intervention.
What did you just flick
I
onto
just,
my
like,
screen?
Flung a hair tie. It landed all the way. Wow.
can't
I
fix
flung
that.
a hair tie like 4 feet away.
Okay.
But
Alright.
yeah,
Let's
that's
go.
Musically.
So by the way, at the theater there was this guy who was like, there'd be this intense like dramatic scene, and then he'd just like blow his nose.
I told you about that, didn't I? Didn't I?
No.
What?
I told you
No.
about that. I thought I said something about like maybe an underage kid
Oh,
going
yeah.
into the movie theater and
You
do a
did.
freak out.
Yeah, I told you we were seeing this, and then you were like,
Yeah.
"What do you mean?" But he wasn't an underage.
He was
kid.
like a guy.
He
He
was
kept
just like a guy that was sick, and he was.
it's like this
Did the
super
pop-
intense scene in the horror movie, and then
he'd
it's just
be
like,
"Ah."
and he starts like blowing his nose, and we're just like, okay.
Oh dang!
Thanks
Way to
for
ruin
ruining
the
the
scene.
moment.
Wow.
That actually scared me one time when he
Oh, I
did that.
know.
'Cause it was like, I was like anticipating a jump scare, and I was like, I know there's gonna be a jump scare because
right.
there's like the build
Did he
up to
blow
it,
his nose?
and then he like blew his nose.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, that's
I
not
hate
in the
that.
movie.
So many times I was like, "There's gonna be a jump scare. You're not gonna jump at it."
And then
I'm
I
like,
jumped so much.
Yes.
The thing
we
about me
both
when it
jumped
comes
so
to
I
horror
didn't
movies-
notice you jump at all, but
Like,
I
I
like
jumped
like physically like
the same
Look,
time.
I don't jump for some reason. Whenever I watch a horror movie, I have like an inside. Like it scares me on the inside, you know.
Lies.
Like I don't
Lies.
physically jump.
I'm calling
Mhm.
I'm calling your
I
bluff. Everyone.
I
jumps
don't jump. I don't jump. I get scared, and like I listen to like scary stories all the time online with my friends, but I just don't jump. I don't know.
You don't jump from scary stories,
Well,
but like jump scares make everyone jump, even if it's just like a little twitch. Like,
well,
that
unless
counts.
it's like those YouTube like follow the red dot. Have you seen those?
Follow the red dot.
What?
Oh, those ones.
yeah, kinda.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
first thing I thought you haven't seen it. I was
Yeah,
like, oh
I
my
have.
god.
No.
Yeah,
Those are
but yeah,
classic.
like those always scary. But like when it comes to like movie jump scares, I don't know. The acting's always terrible, so that doesn't really help. Yeah, that was a low blow. I'm sorry.
I'm saying lies.
Okay, I really wanted to talk about this last podcast. We ran out of time.
Yeah.
I went on the most crazy hike I could have ever gone on the other day.
I don't know how
And
a hike can be crazy.
it wasn't even documented because I
didn't
didn't bring
even
any of my
vlog it?
cameras, which is insane.
That
I
is
always
bizarre.
bring my camera everywhere. So, first of all, we just like bushwhacked up this hill until we got to this one place that was this just really steep. No one can see what I'm doing right now except for Deborah. I'm just doing that.
He's like
It was,
hand up.
Really,
like-
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
almost all like it was super steep of slippery, just like loose, gravelly rocks, and we had to like scurry up.
How did you manage that?
We hardly did because
Oh.
my friend Jacob, we got to this one part and his dog was running, or our other friend's dog was running up, knocked loose this gigantic rock, and it was flying right toward Jacob. So he had to jump to the side, but that messed up where he was. So then he had to backwards crab walk up to a dead tree root and hang there for 20 minutes until one of us saved
20 minutes?
him with a trekking pole. We were literally calmly setting up a time lapse at the top.
And you're just
Speaking
chilling
of
there like,
rocks-
And
maybe
he
he'll
was
make
just
it
like,
up
help
on his
me.
And you're
Oh my
just
gosh,
low-key
but-
like, maybe he'll make it up on his own.
Yeah,
maybe
I
he
know.
won't. Oh, well.
my
Yeah, but
gosh.
speaking of rocks flying through the air, like this is
no.
a very short, great transition, you know.
It's
So I
so
was
good.
like, I go to Nova Scotia often, which is this place in
Oh, yeah.
Canada. I
You made
vlogged
a
about
great
it.
video about
So-
that a few years,
yeah.
a year ago.
Yeah. So last year, last year I think it was like at Nova Scotia, like the beaches are often like rocky, like you know, like the beaches consist of just big rocks.
Yeah.
So I don't know why, but my brother Jack, he decided to grab a rock and chuck it behind him for some reason, and
Oh,
I was
no.
standing there, and it it was like a gigantic rock, very heavy, and he chucked it like really fast, and it like kind of like what's the word? It kind of like skimmed. I don't think that's the word.
Skipped on the water?
It like just it brushed by the side of my head,
oh,
and
yeah.
if that
Yeah,
hit my
skimmed.
head, that
Dang.
yeah.
That
That's rough.
seems really safe. I had a
Very
friend
safe.
who...
And then he looked back, and he like stared at me, like he was like in total shock. And for the next like 2 weeks, like he did whatever I said because
Just careful with
well,
rocks.
he be careful with rocks, Jack. So
That's great. I had
Yeah.
a friend who, I think he was here in Colorado, and they have a thing where they get rocks from... 'cause
Oh,
they're
God.
those people. And they get rocks from wherever they go, and
Yeah.
they like sent their oldest... Well, their only son. No, their oldest son. They sent their oldest son to go like get a rock, and he finds this like big boulder,
Yeah.
and it was at the top of a hill, so he's like pushes it down, and he's like running after it.
Oh,
And
jeez.
then he like trips and
Safety.
lands and like sits on a cactus or something.
No.
What?
And then
I
the
see
rock
it
comes
on a
down and like
cactus.
hits their car.
Oh,
And
jeez.
it was just, so then
Oh,
they
bad
called
turn
us
of
and they're like,
events.
"Hey, can we like crash at your house because like we need to fix our car and
Oh,
we sat on a cactus,
man.
so like we're trying to like
Sat on a
figure,
cactus.
figure out what we're doing with our lives." It was
speaking of cacti, I'm good at transition. I just have
so
to
good,
say
so
that.
good at
solid.
it.
Speaking of cacti,
Mm.
another very short story. I was with my friend one time, and we were at this Mexican restaurant, and we just wanted some churros. We didn't want to sit down and eat, but we were waiting at the front of the restaurant, like where the desk is,
Yeah.
and there wasn't a bell or anything. There was this little cactus, like right on it, but it didn't really look like it was sharp. So I kind of touched,
Oh, no.
like Kelsey, she's my friend, and this girl Kelsey, she was like, "Ellis, touch it." So I did, and like there's like no spikes on the side, so I touched it, and then I kind of just squeezed the sides of it. I was like, nothing's wrong with it. It's just like it's like plastic or something. I don't know. So then Kelsey, she didn't understand, but the top of the cactus was like really sharp and like
Oh,
like really big.
no.
So then we were waiting, and she was like, "Oh, there isn't a bell. I wish I could like ring a bell." And then she grabbed her hand and she smacked the top of the cactus.
Dang.
It said ring ring, and then oh my god, she screamed. And then we
That-
got
Man.
she screamed, and that kind of attracted some attention.
Yeah,
So then
that's
we-
one way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then someone came up and we got some churros. So.
I've eaten
good.
cacti. It's
You eating?
Oh,
cacti?
yeah.
I've eaten it in
I saw
Mexico.
some.
It was really
Cool.
weird. I had to like cut the spikes off. It was like
What's
the
it
really
like?
big flat ones.
They sell those at Whole Foods.
They
What
do?
the heck?
Cactus.
They taste weird. I do not like
Does
the
it?
taste of it. They put it in our eggs in Mexico.
What are they like?
And I was just
Cactus
like, I can't
eggs.
get into it. Yeah,
Cactus
it was very bizarre. I did not like it.
That's great.
Interesting.
Mexico is really weird. Yeah, someone bought a hammock while we were down in Mexico.
Very
You might be
Which I
surprised.
then
but-
figured out that he was in. This is my best friend's dad. He was in Mexico and he got separated from his family when he was like really young, like probably 10 or 11, and he bought
survived off a hammock.
he bought a hammock and a machete. And
My
like little
gosh.
like baby him is just like,
Whoa.
well, it's Mexico.
That's
If you've ever
crazy,
been to
though.
Mexico,
Yeah,
then it's like,
that's
oh,
true.
Mexico's
Yeah.
super sketch. So he
Super sketch.
he was just like walking around like tiny little him with like this giant machete, just like holding it up. And yeah, and they still have the hammock. It's hung outside their house and like under
That's
their
good.
porch.
That has memories attached to it.
It's the
Yeah.
weirdest thing.
We
Gotta love it.
saved the rocks in our shoes after the hike because it was so
Why?
insane to remember. Okay, no, but we got to the top of the mountain and then it started to rain, like crazy rain, and then there was lightning, and we were at the top of a mountain. It was like lightninging like crazy, so we had to jump down, kind of like slalom down like we were on skis,
Slalom?
but just on shoes.
That's
Down the mountain that we've just climbed up. So down these slippery rocks, we made this rock river, like going down here, and we were just walking on rocks the whole time home because so many got in our shoes. So we
This
saved
is
it in a pickle jar. And
literally
now we
the
have it
weirdest
forever.
story I have heard from hiking.
My cousin actually has like a rock collection. I don't know why. I don't know what
I
the
used
point
to-
of it is.
Ooh,
You
I
used to have
tried
a rock
get a shell
collection.
collection.
A shell collection.
But I brought it back from Washington, and a bunch of shells that you just find randomly in the sea or whatever on the beach, and you bring them, and they're in a closed container for a long time. It got so bad. And 4 years later, I opened it, and it was the worst thing in the world.
I don't know why, but I've just never been a collector of things. I don't know. I go to my friend's house, and like I have another friend, and he has like a Coca-Cola bottle collection. I don't know why, but he has like this massive shelf full of Coca-Cola bottles.
That's
And
kind of
I'm like, that's nice, but like I don't see the point of
That's
that.
nice.
That's nice.
That's nice.
I am like completely turned off from collecting things because we were helping our friends move one time, and I went downstairs. I was like, "Hey, can I help move boxes?" And the friend was like, "Okay, just sit there and wait. I'm gonna need you for the salt and pepper shakers."
Oh god.
I'm like, what?
Salt
So I'm just
shakers.
sitting there. She's like, "Okay, come here." And she's like, "This entire wall of boxes are like boxes of salt and pepper shakers that her mom had collected. There were over 9,000 of them."
Oh,
And there were, I think there were like
9,000.
20 something boxes of just salt,
Wow.
and they were labeled like frogs, and then like barn animals, and then like people, and then like fancy. And I'm just
Wow.
like, why do you
Why,
have
though?
so many salt and pepper shakers? What are you gonna do with these? What is the point? It was I don't know if they still have them, but I asked her, I was like, why do you still have these? She's like, because they were my mother's, and I'm like, but she's dead. I didn't say that, but I was like,
Like
why
yeah,
hold on
but
to
at the same time, like I don't understand why people just I don't understand why people just collect useless things. But like sure, like maybe if it's like I don't know, like I don't know if it's something valuable. I don't know, but like I said before, my friend like collects Coca-Cola bottles. Like why? You know?
well, it's historic.
Yeah, but like why though? Because like it's like old Coca-Cola cans that aren't very fancy. They're just average Coca-Cola cans. I don't know why.
It's the thought
it's
that counts.
vintage.
I was gonna say, it's like
retro.
when you
Vintage.
start going, you can't stop.
You can't stop.
Hudson and I went
You
into
won't
this
stop.
camera shop yesterday trying to get a battery that turned out to be $70 for a 8-year-old camera that no one supports except for this one really sketchy, tiny little. Yeah, it was weird. But
That
we
sounds like
went
lots
in
of fun.
and they had a gigantic wall full of Polaroids, like
Oh, that's cool.
like a huge
Huh.
wall. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
And it was like all these vintage things that were like, this was from 1910.
And you're
all
like,
these crazy things. I was like, whoa. $2
well, that's
million.
something cool to collect, I guess.
It is. Yeah,
Yeah.
those would be cool.
I would collect
I
that.
found a book that we have from, I think it's 18 something. And it was like the
That's
coolest thing because
cool.
we were using it for my sister's wedding to put like cake platters on.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
was like, I want this like out in the open, but it's going to be covered because the cake platter's on top of it. And I had this like moral battle because I'm like, but I also don't want it outside because it's like a billion years old.
Yeah.
It was like a first year like reader or something. And I was like, bruh,
Whoa.
That's cool.
house on the prairie up in this.
Well, actually, like, my house is very secluded, and kind of like around my house is kind of like the woods. So if you
had
kind
a
of
video that
Good
you
place
like
to murder
walked
people.
through your woods to the market. It was so weird.
That sounds so sketchy.
yeah,
I bet
but,
a
like,
lot of people have been killed on your property.
100%.
Thank you.
No, but if you kind of walk in in the woods a little bit, like go on a little hike, there's this like spot where it's like ruins of this old building, and like you can like if you look anywhere in that like area in the water, you'll always find like bricks because somehow this place exploded, and everyone says that it was like a gunpowder factory and like some like war or something. So
Is this
that's
on your
something.
property or near your property?
Very close to my property,
How-
like a little hike.
Weird. There's we call
Yeah.
it the old barn. There's a guy named Air who lives down the street from me. And he owned like the entire, like my entire neighborhood. He used to own it. And he sold most of it off, but like he still has a good deal of property. And he owns this place called the Old Barn. And it's a bunch of buildings. There's a barn, there's a blacksmith shop, there's like a bunch of stuff from the 1800s, and it's so cool. I've been out there
That's
like
cool.
once, and it was pretty chill.
Nice.
He also owned the
Shit.
graveyard. My mom and I had to talk about this actually as I was getting out of the car to like come to Clay's house. Like, I was getting out of the car and we were talking about like the graveyard because I live down the street from a graveyard.
Yeah.
And we are like, did it like start as a private graveyard maybe? Because she's like, I don't know who like is allowed to be buried there and who isn't.
That's
and I'm like,
odd.
I don't know if there's restrictions on
There's
that.
a graveyard
week.
in my area, and right next to the graveyard is a retirement home, and I
Oh
don't
my
understand.
God.
It's like conveniently located.
Oh my god!
Man, that
And
is-
like
That's
everyone like makes
awful.
funny Snapchats, everyone like makes like their original memes. But like
Memes?
it's,
Oh,
it's
the
sad.
original
It's sad
memes.
because like the people who like have to go to that senior citizens home, they know that they're gonna end up there, which is really sad.
So
I-
Oh,
sad.
man,
it's
that
sad,
is
but
sad.
what you gonna
That's-
do?
Leaving on that note, it's been 21 minutes.
21.
Yes, 21. Okay.
Speaking of dank memes,
Ellis, where can they find you?
You can find me on Musically at
music.
Um,
He's a big
right
muser,
now.
people.
Right now, my username is hex_films, but that's not gonna last long because it's a long story. I don't like the username, and I'm changing it. But
A
after,
good story for a different
Yeah,
podcast.
another time. But after August 5th, my username is going to be Ellis.Pizzo.
And follow me, Clay_Bowen on Musically and Clay School of Vlogs. Well, youtube.com/Clay School of Vlogs or Clay Bowen on YouTube and a bunch of other
And
stuff. You
don't
can
follow
figure
me
it out.
on Musically because I'm not on
But
Musically.
you are on Instagram
I am on Instagram at AaronWeb5
and Snapchat.
at AaronWeb7 and
it.
somewhere on Twitter. What's my Twitter username?
It's weird.
It's like
I
Aaron
forgot.
Uluru, I believe.
When you ask your friend what's your Twitter username,
I think it's just Aaron Uluru. That's my
All right.
Twitter.
Well, watch listen. Dang it. Listen every
I
Saturday.
mean, you could watch,
at
but it'd be
6:05
really
Central
boring.
Time, 5:05 Mountain Time.
On A100 Radio.
.com
You should
or
say
on the Crazy Collab YouTube channel. Thanks for listening.
Adios.
Okay, bye.
see you later.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Crazy Collab. If you want to hear more, then come back next week for episode 4. I want to give a huge thanks to the Fat Rat for the awesome music and Ellis for being such a great guest. And until next time, we'll talk to you later.